to our veterans. And at this time, I'd like to yield to the gentleman from Arkansas, Lieutenant Colonel Tim Griffin, who's a colonel in the United States Army Reserve JAG Corps. He served in Iraq in 2006. Currently, he'd been assigned to the Southeast Medical Air Readiness Support Group as a command judge advocate. When he went to Iraq, he was assigned to the 101st Airborne Division. Mr. Griffin, I yield to you.
I thank the gentleman, and I thank the gentleman for his service. I wanted to talk at first here about a fellow Screaming Eagle, a fellow member of the 101st Airborne Division who was wounded in action. Sergeant Carl Moore III from Bigelow, Arkansas, in the Second Congressional District, my district. Sergeant Moore, in early June of this year, was wounded while on patrol in Afghanistan. Bullet struck him under his arm, puncturing one of his lungs and grazing his spine. I pray for Carl's speedy recovery so he can get back to enjoying the things that he loves. My thoughts go out to his parents, Carl and Theresa of Conway, Arkansas, also in my district, and his wife Heather and their 4-year-old daughter Addison. And this is just one example of the type of service that we should all be thankful for. And tonight I want to thank Sergeant Carl Moore for his service and for his sacrifice and for his family's sacrifice. And when I think about all the vets who have impacted my life personally, it's a list that is too long to read. And they've impacted me in so many ways. And you know, I'll often think of my grandfather who served in World War I in France in 1918. I never met my grandfather on my mother's side. He died in 1966, just two years before I was born. But he was in the Army and processed through Camp Pike in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Arkansas, where I did a lot of reserve duty, and I often thought of him when I was there. I went to basic at Fort Lee in Virginia, and come to find out that's where he went. He went to Fort Lee before he went to France in 1918, and I thank him for his service. I also want to mention one of our most famous vets in closing, one of our most famous vets from the Second Congressional District of Arkansas, and that's Nick Bacon. We recently were able to name a post office after Nick Bacon. He's a Medal of Honor winner, and he passed away recently. He was born in Caraway, Arkansas in 1945. He enlisted in 1963 at age 17. And the story goes that he was too young to enlist, so he just sort of fudged a little bit on the age. He was stationed in Germany for a while, did a tour in Vietnam. He was wounded 3 times during his first tour in Vietnam. When a helicopter he rode in collided with another, and all were killed but Bacon and one other. So he volunteered for a second tour in Vietnam because that wasn't enough. And I want to tell this, just read this little paragraph here that talks about what happened that led to him being awarded the Medal of Honor. On August 26 of 1968, while he was leading a squad in Bravo Company's 1st Platoon, in operation, Bacon and his unit came under fire from an enemy position. He personally destroyed the position with hand grenades, but the platoon leader was wounded on open ground. So Bacon assumed command, led the platoon in destroying still more enemy emplacements. The 3rd platoon lost its leader, and Bacon took command of that platoon as well and led both platoons against the remaining enemy positions. During the evacuation of the wounded, Bacon climbed the side of a nearby tank to gain a vantage point and direct fire into the enemy positions, despite being exposed to enemy fire himself. He was personally credited with killing at least 4 enemy soldiers and destroying an anti-tank gun. And for his actions in this battle, Bacon received the Medal of Honor, formally presented to him by President Richard Nixon during a 1969 White House ceremony. He earned multiple awards within the military for various accomplishments. In addition to the Medal of Honor, he was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross, the Legion of Merit, Bronze Star, with 2 Valor Devices, 2 Purple Hearts. Then he went back to Arkansas and years later served as the director of the Department of Veterans Affairs, and was reappointed by Governor Mike Huckabee in that position and served until February 2005. We lost Nick in 2010, but he is a shining example of the type of selfless service that veterans often demonstrate for their country. And I just want to thank you to Nick Bacon and the many veterans that he represents, the thousands of veterans from Arkansas that he represents. And I just want to thank the gentleman for putting this together. A lot of times we come down here and debate a lot of policy issues, but I think it is the right thing to do to tonight take this time to honor our veterans, and I thank you.
Thank you. I thank the